Hey friends, it's Julia Bailey with Life It Ins Coaching, and this is day 2 of my goal setting tips series. Goals are important to me because, I feel more happy, more content, more satisfied when I am doing the things I want to do. I'm being more intentional with my time and making progress in areas that are really important to me. So yesterday I shared tips, or the tip was to create goals that are action oriented instead of outcome focused, and reasons for that, and how to go from an outcome goal to an actionable goal. And again, that's important because when we're focused on creating momentum, we're more likely to achieve that goal. And actionable goals get us into, get us moving forward, and also help us stay focused on the process instead of the end goal, which ultimately can help us get to that end goal. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today, or today's tip, is about balance. But before I get into that, there's a little bit of cleanup about yesterday. Maybe not cleanup, but my husband watched the video and said, "You forgot to tell them about um, don't wants and do nots, or not do's." And it's funny because he's like, "You always tell me about this." So I wanted to share that real quick. When you're creating goals and they sound like, "I don't want to eat chocolate anymore," or I um, I don't want to do nothing, or I don't want to sleep in anymore. I don't know. Anything that's negated, then that's not really an actionable goal, because um, there's nothing you're replacing that with. Not doing something is not something you can act on. So with that, we want to replace the what you don't want to do with the alternative. If you're not doing that, if you don't want that, what do you want? What are you doing? And another reason for that is, if I tell you not to think of the color green, how hard is it then to not think of it? I mean, I bet you ran through maybe 2 or 3 things that are green just because I said don't do it. And so that's another reason why replacing the don't wants and not do's with what we do want and what we do want to do is really important. And with that, I also wanted to talk about the stigma of the do nothings. Um, I don't know if you have ever been asked, what did you do this weekend? Oh, nothing. Well, I would be willing to bet a lot of money that's not true. Um, and part of the reason is that I don't know if you've ever tried to practice mindfulness or meditate, and that's not about doing nothing, but it can be really hard to focus on just one thing because we're so used to multitasking and we have thoughts racing around all the time. And so that practice is one that takes practice. And so when you say, "Oh, I did nothing," that sounds really hard to do to me, because watching TV is doing something, sitting on the couch and thinking about the day is doing something. And if we can start to name those things, then we can be a little bit more kind to ourselves about what we're doing, and maybe we chose to watch an episode of TV. We didn't do nothing. So that's my little soapbox on that piece is, be specific about what you're doing. And even if you don't like it, at least name it, instead of calling it nothing. And then, so around balance, that's our tip for today. It can be really common to create goals around a certain area of our lives that is a little more stressful. or one that we're more concerned about, um, and negate the others, or just not pay too much attention to them. And I went through my goals this year, and I struggled to really hit every category because I was like, that one's fine. I don't really want to do anything there. It's working. Why change? Um, but I've found in the past that when I actually work on those areas that are going well too, that it's amazing what happens in the areas that I was more focused on to begin with. And then just naturally things start to come together better there. And that's the power of balance. And so I encourage you to look at these 8 categories of family, friendships, or relationships, health, fun and entertainment, career, finance, personal development, and spirituality. And I just want to touch on spirituality because it can be religious, but really it's more about connecting to your values, your mission, who you want to be in the world, and what's really important to you. And being in alignment with what's important to you. So I'm curious, what your categories are. They don't have to be those. You don't have to use those titles, those labels. You can call them different things. And I'd love to see in the comments what your categories are, what's important to you. And if you want to connect with me and see how you can really start to formulate goals in these areas, you can reach out to me at lifefinance.com or on Facebook, and I'd love to hear from you. Have a great Tuesday. Bye.